Hello students. So we have in part 1 of this chapter, natural vegetation and wildlife, discuss about the forest, different kind of forests. So today we will discuss about the grasslands. So the grasslands are about 30% of the earth is covered with grasslands, and this grassland has been divided into two types. One is tropical grasslands and the other one is the temperate grassland. So I will discuss about the important features of the tropical grassland and what kind of climate and where it is found. Okay, these grasslands are found on either side of the equatorial zone extending up to tropics. So this grassland, which is the tropical grassland, are found in the equatorial zone up to the tropics, that is on the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. In this grasslands, what kind of climate is found? The climate is actually moderate to low rainfall and in summer and high temperature throughout the year. The temperatures are high throughout the year and the rainfall is quite moderate. So in these areas, what is the characteristics mean? The rain, due to the good rainfall, the grasses are very tall. That is 3 to 4 meters in height. That is quite tall. And because of their height, these tall grasses, because of the height of the grasses, this tall grass is known as the elephant grass. And where are they found? They are found mainly in the East Africa, and in East Africa they are known as, they have a different name. The name is savanna. They are known as savanna grasslands. The other areas of the world where these grasslands occur are actually Brazilian highland, rain shadow areas in Deccan Plateau, that is in India, and in the northern Australia. These grasslands have different names in different parts of the world. In Brazil it is known as Campos, and in Venezuela it is known as Laos. Wildlife? What about the wildlife? This grassland is famous for wildlife because due to the availability of grass, different kind of herbivore animals are found here, like zebras, giraffes, elephants are found here. Wild buffaloes, they are found here, and these are the prey for these are actually food for the carnivores. So many carnivore animals are also found here and they hunt these herbivores. Due to this reason, they are famous for game country or wildlife safaris. People here come to see the wildlife in their natural habitat. And in this forest, African elephant, large mammals, double-horned rhinoceros are found in these regions. In this forest, in this grasslands also, the scavengers are found. Scavengers, as you know, that scavengers are the animals which feed on the dead of the animals. They are hyena, vultures are also found. The areas were prized by the hunters. So actually hunting goes on in this area earlier, but due to the government has now banned the hunting in many countries. So now you can go for wildlife safaris. You can just watch these animals in their natural habitat. You can watch these animals hunting other animals, but you cannot go for hunting. So hunting is prohibited in these areas. So this was about the tropical grasslands. Now we will discuss about the temperate grassland. So as the name suggests, temperate. Temperate is the region where the temperature is not that high. Its temperature is cool. So these grasslands occur basically in the interior parts of the continents, in the cool temperate regions. The temperate regions are the cool. As we move towards the polar region, away from the equator, the temperature will be cool. Okay, you all know about this. So what is the characteristics of the climate here? The climate here is very hot summer, but the winters are very cold. Grass. What is the quality of grass? The grass here is not as tall as tropical grasslands. In the tropical grassland, the grasses are very tall, which is actually 3 to 4 feet height. But here the grass is short, but it is very nutritious. Nutritious means it is good for your health. You eat this. You can eat this and you can benefit it by this. Nutritious wheat, maize, oats are belonging to the grass family are widely cultivated in the areas. So basically cereals, all cereals are cultivated here like wheat, oats, maize, and that is why this area is called the granaries of the world. Granaries is a place where the food, actually cereals, all the cereals like wheat, wheat, rice, etc. are kept safely. So this is very this place is famous for its grasses, which are very nutritious, like wheat, maize. So it is called granaries of the world. Where it is found, the temperate grasslands have specific names. So just like tropical grasslands, temperate grasslands also have got different names in different part of the world. For example, in North America it is known as prairies. In the Eurasia, that is Europe and Asia, it is known as steppes, and in South America it is known as pampas, and in South Africa it is known as velds, and in Australia it is known as downs. Okay, now what about the wildlife? Here basically in the earlier part of before the settlers came here, bisons roamed in the northern America, and now it is all the grasslands or all the forests are protected now by the government to protect the different species of animals. So wild buffaloes, antelopes here are found, prairie dogs are found here, and one more thing is done here, that is rearing of cattle. Cattle rearing is done here, sheep, cow, etc. So because the grass is found and these cattle are actually grass eating animals, so it is done here very well. So in this temperate grassland, cattle rearing is very important occupation. Now grasslands, tropical and temperate we have discussed. Now we will come to another type of vegetation, which is called desert vegetation. Desert, you are all very much aware of this desert. So deserts can be of two types. Desert vegetation can be of two types. In extreme temperature, where extreme temperature is found, it can be very high temperature or it can be very cold temperature. In both kind of situation, plants growing is a rare plant grows in a rare condition. Condition is very tough for growing plants because due to this rainfall is very low. Okay. So what kind of vegetation is found in a desert type of vegetation? Thorny bushes are found in arid and semi-arid areas of the earth. Arid and semi-arid areas means where rainfall is very low. Xerophytic plants adapt to the desert. Xerophytic plants have a typical kind of characteristic. These plants have long roots so that they can tap the groundwater. And xerophytic plants have actually adapted themselves to the atmosphere, where they have actually they have no leaves. Instead of leaves, they have thorns, and their stems are very actually they have stems which are green, and they are wax coated stems are there. Wax coated stems are there because by this the transpiration of the water, which whatever moisture they have is less, so they can survive in this hot temperature and cold temperature where rainfall is very less. And in this part of the this type of vegetation, what kind of animals are found? The camel is found here, well adapted to stay for days without food and water. And this is camel is very important animal here because camel has a characteristics that it can stay without any kind of water or food for many days, at least 10 to 15 days. And some reptiles are also found here because snakes, lizards, poisonous spiders and scorpions, which can live in such condition, are found here. Okay. So desert vegetation. After desert vegetation, we will come to the another kind of vegetation, which is called tundra vegetation. So tundra vegetation is found in the polar regions of the Arctic Circle. It has very extreme cold temperature and they have a very less plant growth. Only very short plants like mosses, lichens and some flowering plants grow, especially in the summer, not in the winters. And the summers are very short, so the plant which can grow very easily are easily in a short time are grown here. Okay, in which area these are found? Is found in America, Europe, Asia, polar regions of America, Europe, and Asia. And what kind of animals are found? The animals are found which have adapted themselves to live in such a cold condition, like walrus, polar bear, seal, sable are found here, because in cold temperature the most of the part of this area is frozen of almost the year. Only very short period of time is summer season here. Okay, so the reindeer, musk ox, and Arctic hare is also found here in the tundras. So tundras are found in a very high altitude and in the higher latitudes. Okay, mountainous vegetation. So there is another kind of vegetation which is found in the mountain ranges. For example, Himalayas in India has the distinct arrangement of plants, and which is a very good example of mountainous vegetation. Mountain means altitude, height, and according to height, as we grow up, the temperature comes down, is becoming less, and according to that, the vegetation also changes. As we go up, the vegetation will change. So they have a variety of vegetation in the mountain ranges. They have evergreen forest also, they have deciduous trees also, and conifers when we go in the higher altitude. It is followed by alpine and then tundra type in the higher altitude. As we move in the higher altitude, then we will find there alpine type of vegetation. Then if we achieve more height, then we will find tundra type of vegetation, where only small lichens, mosses are growing over there. So in India, Himalayas are the best example where you can see all sort of vegetation. If you go to the Shimla, if you go Kashmir, you can see different kind of vegetation growing all over there. So that's it in the chapter of one natural vegetation. And so in this chapter what we saw that our earth has given everything, all sort of plants, animals, and we don't need anything else. So we should live with harmony with this nature if we want to keep our earth healthy and keep ourselves healthy. So we should respect these forests, and we should respect our natural vegetation, and we should do something to increase this natural vegetation on our earth, and we should not harm anything which is natural. That's it in this chapter. We will come up with a new chapter, and so go through this chapter, go through this video, and give me your feedback. See you in the next video.